Going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Happy Tuesday, everybody. And by everybody, I mean everybody that's going to be watching this after the live stream. So, there we go. This is probably going to be one of the most important ones that you're going to see until I make another one that's going to be even more important. That's pretty much it. So, I would say this is a very high-level topic that I'm going to be talking about right now. It's easy, the title, you know, what's going on, Chris? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Yo, yo, yo. It's going to be a very high-level topic because there's going to be multiple facets here. We're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be talking about the mindset. We're going to be talking about it's all a journey, blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's get into it. So yesterday, you guys could probably feel when I'm on and when I'm not on, okay? I'm on when I'm smiling, I'm happy, I'm enthusiastic, and things like that. So yesterday, all right, bro, morning, what's going on? This is the thing is that I, like everyone, I go through ups and downs. You know, I have good mornings, I have bad mornings and things going on. What's going on, Paul? How we doing? How we doing? Everybody's excited. We got some exclamation points. We got some question marks. Go see my Instagram post. That was, you know, one of the more funny moments. I'll just throw it out there. I was in the shower at Equinox after working out after gym class, and someone sneezed really loud, very boisterous, and I said bless you. And I didn't hear a thank you, and I'm like, is that weird that I just did that? Who's like a guy in like another stall? But anyway, go check that out and leave your comments. And that's a perfect that's a perfect example of someone like The Rock. You know, I'm not comparing myself to The Rock, even though I'm about to right now. Is that The Rock has a lot of vulnerable posts where he'll just make fun of himself. He's self-deprecating, and that's what makes him likable. Okay, there's so many people that are putting out their best face. They're all just. I just commented on that. Yeah, it might be a little weird. I was like sitting there. I was like, all right. But either way, what are you gonna do? You know, it's one of those moments that you could either. I thought about it. I was like, should this be a story or should this be something that's there forever? You know, not forever. You know, there's not gonna be a lot of people that see it. But I like your videos. Thank you very much. I don't know where you're from, but let me know where you're from. All right, let's get into it. So yesterday, I don't know if you could feel my energy sometimes. Let's put this down a little bit, and it was a little off. So on Mondays I do hot athletic yoga. It is a very intense class. Not many people can get through it, and if they can get through, like, they'll get through it. Like, you could just, you know, sit down and not do the exercises, but it's, you know, 90 something degrees, and you're literally doing burpees, and you're literally doing jump squats, you're literally doing push-ups and everything else. All right, from Brazil, I love it. I love the internet, connecting as many people as we can. And, you know, sometimes it drains me because I sweat. You literally just are just doused. You just have a puddle around you. And I'm thinking about it. So I came to work. I was a little bit tired. I didn't sleep that well, blah, blah, blah. These are all excuses, you know, all this other bullshit. And I wasn't feeling that well. And I was not feeling that well like I'm sick, but I wasn't feeling as energetic. You kind of had that baseline. You know, I told Erwin put up his first profile picture, I think, ever. You know? And I said, you now have a new baseline of comfortability. You know, it's like that one person that goes live for the first time and gets their first criticism or gets their first, you know, comment or feedback or something. You know, I had one of my best friends, and this is going to be one of the videos that I'm going to make in the future. Actually, it might even be tomorrow, but one of my friends, you know, he said, you know, this is the way it should be. This is the way your video should be. And I thought about it. I was like, well, have you ever made a live video? I'm thinking in my mind, have you ever made a live video? Probably not. Okay, but thank you for the feedback. And you now have a new comfortability baseline. Once you do something that you've never done before, it could be, you know, putting up your first profile. It could be approaching someone and asking for the time. It could be something very small, okay? You now have a baseline of comfortability. I now have a very high baseline of comfortability compared to where I was, say, even a year ago, even 6 months ago, okay? So in other words, when I come to work and I'm not feeling on, I reverse engineer and I don't say, okay, what's wrong with me? I don't say what's wrong with me. I first look inside. I've already went over this. And then I say, okay, what did I do today? What did I eat? And then on Sunday, I had a ridiculous day. I went from 7:15 to about 7:15, and I was on the whole day. And then I was like, you know what? I deserve some treats, you know? So I ate some sugar, you know? And then I woke up, and I knew while I was eating that on Sunday, I knew that when I woke up on Monday that I probably wouldn't be feeling 100% because that's how I feel. My body just doesn't accept it. It's not used to it. I get headaches and things like that. It just tastes so fucking good sometimes. So yesterday, obviously went through the day, and I'm at the point now where when I don't feel on, so making calls, I could just feel the energy inside. It just wasn't on. Nobody was really responding to me. And this is the thing: when you feel down, a lot of people say, "I am down." No, 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 no. You have to say it's temporary. Right now, I'm down. This moment I'm down. This afternoon I'm down. And I am now at that level where I can actually say that and say, I know tomorrow's going to be a new day. I know tonight is going to be a new night. I know in a couple hours I'm going to be a new person, things like that. So actually breaking it down, that you first have to say, okay, what led to this point, okay, that I feel down. And then knowing that it's not you. That's the thing. A lot of people say, I am a failure. I am fat. I am an introvert. I am blah, blah, blah. And then they put that identity on them, and then they live into it because it's comfortable. I knew that my energy is a totally different energy than I was yesterday. So this gets down to the crux of it. So I go and I have an appointment down in the West Village. This girl that's looking to buy, she's seeing so many places. I'm at the point where it's like, okay, pick a property or not. Indecision. I don't like indecisive people, but whatever. So we show the property. We walk out, and she's like, send me all the information and blah blah blah. So my dad texts me, so I give him a call, and I'm like, I feel hungry, even though I ate before. So that was one of the things, is like, what are the emotions going through my body? Even though I just ate, what are the emotions going through my body? Am I trying to convince myself that I'm hungry? Am I convincing myself that I'm going to pass Equinox and there's a juice press there? And it's like, that's one of the things I really want to meditate and dissect, is what are the emotions right before eating? Because that's just very important right now, because it actually it took away from yesterday at like 2 p.m. I was like, you know what? I got it from work. In other words, I got it from my desk, and then I just looked around for food, and I'm like, am I convincing myself I'm hungry? Am I convincing myself that I actually need this? Or am I actually hungry? And I don't think I am. I just have the emotions of hunger. I think I have the state, the physiology of hunger. So fast forwarding it to like 6:45, and 6:45 in New York City is really early. People go out at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, even on a Monday. The girl that I was taking around, she had a dinner date at 7:15 or 7:30, so she's going to be out all night. So I go to Equinox. I'm talking with my dad, and I'm on the phone, and this, Equinox in the West Village. First of all, West Village is very expensive. Literally, the building across from me, I don't know if you saw my stories yesterday, the building across from me sold for $50 million. It was a three-way bidding war. It went cash, and the guy put in heated sidewalks in New York City. Heated sidewalks. That's crazy. And then he probably put in another $20 million. So there's a billionaire that literally lives across the street from me. That's how wealthy the area is. I'm not saying I'm there. I'm in a freaking rental building with a part-time doorman across the street. Okay, so that's not good. However, you obviously, it's a different type of person, in the West Village, in that Equinox, and this girl is absolutely stunning. She orders her juice, she's there, she's talking with the guy. It was interesting because I was on the phone with my dad, and I'm sitting down, and I'm still even debating, should I get something? And I noticed this. So this is a high level thinking right now, is that when something is happening live in front of you, are you able to actually juxtapose what the outcome is of that person? So in other words, if you're in sales and it's not going well, are you able to actually just snap out of it and reorient the conversation? In other words, if I'm selling something and it's not working, it's me. I'm not asking the right questions. I'm not filling the need. I don't understand what their values or what their needs are. I'm not filling their needs. That's high-level sales, is that live in the conversation you're able to adjust. And it's the same thing, I see this girl, and she's talking longer to the guy behind the counter, which, the guy barely spoke English. I think he was from like Europe or whatever, and like he was an older guy, so it wasn't like she was hitting on him and there wasn't any attraction. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, I'm the only one in this area. I'm kind of looking buttoned up right now. I got the scarf on, I got the jacket on, and I'm thinking, I think this girl she wants to get noticed. She wants to get noticed. She turns around. She doesn't look at me, but I notice she's younger. An older girl, she probably would have went up, taken her drink, and left. She's jaded. She's like, what, no one's going to approach me. But she's a younger girl, the one that was there yesterday. Hang up with my dad. And I remember sitting there, it was like yesterday, it was only a couple hours ago, and I'm like, move forward into growth, or do I retreat into comfort? Hey, what's going on? Go watch the video to find out where we are right now. And that was the question. That literally, that's alive. That's such a top level thinking, because really I'm sitting there, there's someone in between us, and she's about 15 feet away, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm off my conversation, so that's not an excuse. She's there, she's still there. She's looking towards the door. I don't know if she's waiting for someone or she's not waiting for someone. And I'm thinking, this is the top level thinking right now, is that she's waiting around. I think she wants to get approached. There's no reason. She's not really on her phone. She has her headphones in though, but she's facing away from me. And I'm bringing this up as a real example, but there's so many other times in person when that actual decision of, do I move forward in growth and get the salad, or do I move back in comfort and I get the food that's not actually good for me? Do I move forward into growth and make the sales calls, or do I plan on making sales calls? Do I move forward in growth, blah, blah, blah. I could give you endless examples. And there's a book, I gotta remember it. It literally talked about micro decisions, and it would take a huge event, and then they broke it down to micro decisions, to one singular decision, something very small. And it literally cascaded into this massive event. So it could be a massive event of a bankruptcy of a company. It could be a massive event of a divorce or something like that. And it literally broke down the steps to that minute little area. And I started thinking about not only myself, I started thinking about all the girls that are jaded at, say, 32, 33 years old, saying, oh, I don't want to get approached. That's why I brought up her age. And, those micro decisions, that's such a small decision. Should I go up and approach her and get the confidence that I survived and I worked out? I get that actual learning experience. It's known as a reference point. And you know what? It's also the high level growth as well, is that you can recognize that. So I ended up not doing it. Of course, everyone's wondering, did you go up and talk to her? So when I left, I said, you know what? I went back, I retreated. Okay, so I retreated. So I went back into comfort. And the easy excuse is that you could say, well, I wasn't feeling, I wasn't feeling right. And it feels good. What if she had a boyfriend? What if she was waiting for someone? Things like that. And I left, and I wanted to feel the pain of not actually approaching. I wanted to feel the pain of feeling comfortable. And it sucks. It sucks. I remember Travis Pastrana. He's the guy that runs Nitro Circus. He's a extreme athlete, and he said something very interesting many years ago, and I didn't understand it until about 6-7 months ago. He said, I actually have because they said, how do you actually feel the fear and do it anyway? You use pain and pleasure, as Tony Robbins talked about. Yeah, more people will avoid pain than to gain pleasure. The pleasure of talking to a girl, or the pain of her rejecting me. Those are really two. The pleasure of not talking to her, that's the pleasure because it's comfortable, or the pain of potential rejection. We'll always go towards pleasure. Always, always, always. That's what our bodies are like, and that's what we're like. So Travis Pastrana was asked the question, how do you do these? Like, he was the first one to do a double backflip. He was the first one to jump 60, 70 feet on a dirt bike, which is absolutely insane, okay? You have to be mentally not there, okay? You just have to have more than a screw loose. So he was asked, how do you do that? And it was a very interesting response. He said, I don't actually think about it because I know there's a high level of danger, and I know that I could potentially die. However, I have an aversion to comfortability. I have an aversion to actually feeling comfortable. And he went in to explain that if he feels too comfortable, he said, I need to do something. And yeah, he's upbeat. And I'm going to review a book. Actually, I think, Chris, you mentioned it. Dan Coyle's Culture Code. Very good book, especially if you're running a business, you're a manager, you're a boss, just in general. There's also another book that I'm going to get into. It's called Endure. It's brand new, but life is about it's easy to say. It's easy to say life is about taking risks. It's so easy to say that. But when you're actually in the event, it's like when something happens, like, there's a guy, making fun of someone. You're like, oh, I would easily stop that guy. Or, I would easily but you're not in that event. Like how many times do we say, I'm going to move forward into growth, and we don't? So this is a high level for two reasons. Number one is that you recognize that you're retreating and then actually feel the pain of not moving forward. Obviously Travis Pastrana has a higher level of comfortability and pain threshold than I do. However, for me to actually walk away and walk home and just feel that pain, it actually felt good. I was like, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel this. And it's not that like it could have potentially worked out and we could have went on a date and she's beautiful and whatever. She was stunning. She was incredible. It was also just the fact that, I wanted to feel, there's two reasons I would say, is that I wanted to feel that like, what, dude, you deserve, someone like this high caliber type of person. So then I get all these reference experiences instead of settling, instead of that other opportunity where that girl, not only does she look good, but she's cool, she's enthusiastic, she's athletic, things like that you're ready, Why am I doing these lives? I'm doing these lives so when I'm on live TV or when I'm somewhere else, think you need to read The Alabaster Girl again. Yeah, listen, this is just an example, okay? Right after this, I could either move into comfortability and not make calls, or I can go into the pain of making calls, okay? So this is just one example. All right, this is just the micro decision that we make every single day that we can move forward into growth or retreat. However, if we retreat, not a big deal. It's just we have to recognize it and say, okay, why did we do that? And then feel the pain of comfortability. We want to get to the point where being comfortable sucks, where it's just you get anxiety. When people have a midlife crisis, that's really what it is. Midlife crisis is someone that doesn't look forward to the future. They don't look forward to the future. They're like, this is the best it is. This is all it's going to be. This is my life. This is my wife. This is my kids. This is my house. This is what it's going to be till I die, And then they go, holy shit, I can't change. I'm not going to change. This is my life. And then they freak out. This is why I like being here, applying what you read in books. Good stuff. Yeah, you have to. You have to. There's way too many people talking about it. It's funny. I get an email from our real estate group here in New York City, and they said, get over the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome. There's a lot of imposters out there. There's a lot of people that put out that they have a lot of money. There's a lot of people that put out that they're very successful, but they're really not. It's like, okay, great. Are you actually eating healthy? Are you actually going to the gym? Are you actually approaching that pretty girl? Are you starting the business? How successful is that business? What's your P&L? What's your financials? What's your quarterly results? How's your revenue? How much cash do you have in the bank in case shit goes down? There's too much competition. And I'll leave you with this, is that our where we want to get to is true transparency. There's a podcast out there called Entrepreneur on Fire. Highly recommend you check him out, even though I haven't even listened to one of his podcasts. But he has, every single quarter, I think it's every single quarter, he gives how much money he makes, what's his profit, year to date. That's transparency. So he's literally saying, I'm an entrepreneur, this is how much I make, and I heard another company doing this, and that's exactly where we want to get. The future, everything is going to go robotic, everything is going to go blockchain, everything is going to go, it's just going to wipe out the bottom half of most industries. That's where we're going. AI, HI is human intelligence, and it's just going to just wipe everything out. The only two things that are going to remain is vulnerability, raw or vulnerable, which is asking the question, someone sneezed in the, that's an example. Someone sneezed in the shower stall. Do you wish them blah, blah, blah? Number one. Number two is transparency. Those are the only ways forward. Transparency and vulnerability. Transparency could be, this is where your Uber is. This is how long it's going to take. And this is how much it's going to cost. That's transparency. When you get into a cab, you don't know if the guy's taking the right route. I do, because I live in New York City, but he probably screws over tourists all the time. He probably loops around the block. They don't fucking know. So that's why the actual transparency, my Uber is 10 minutes away. It's going to cost $15 or $40 to get to the airport, and I'm going to arrive at this time. That's transparency. For me, it's we have this amount of sales. This is what our revenue is. This is what our profit is. And then That's transparency. And then you're also going to be able to hold us accountable on all the steps that we're taking. It's really what it comes down to. I think that's the future. Okay? Peter Drucker said that the only way the business is going to be successful is innovation and marketing. Okay? Innovation where you continuously improve, and then marketing. Hey man, it must be weird because I don't think you blasted the shower was inappropriate. Yeah, like, listen, it doesn't matter. I'm over it. Water under the bridge. People are going to forget about it tomorrow. I'm going to post another photo. I'm actually going to go Facebook Live on an apartment in like 4 hours, so it's not a big deal. All right, guys. Hope you learned a little bit today. That was just an example. That wasn't the lesson. The lesson is, why am I feeling like this? And then live, while you're in the situation of the call, of the potential meeting an influencer, or walking up to that person that you want to talk to, whether because it's business or something like that, or asking for help, or going to the gym or whatever, and you retreat, and it's all a journey. But just make sure that it's 51-49, 50 when you're moving forward into growth. That's the 1% better. It's actually 2%, 51-49. And then feeling the pain of comfortability. I fucking hate that feeling. I hate that feeling. And I felt it yesterday, and I wanted to feel it deeply so I don't do it again. And then I also knew that today's going to be a new day. You just cannot tell yourself that this is who I am. I don't approach pretty girls, or I don't go to the gym, or my life sucks, or whatever. If you tell yourself that, you're going to live into it. Trust me. That was me for 25 years. At least, this is who I am. I don't deserve, a lot of money. I don't deserve a big company. I don't deserve a lot of business. I don't deserve to get the top level apartments. Even now I'm moving into, the higher end, and I'm seeing $2 million apartments is not a big deal. $3 million apartments is not a big deal. But once I see $7-8 million apartments, I'm thinking, oh shit, I better perform. Obviously, yes, but there's also this I don't even want to use the word insecurity, but there's something that I need to get over, that reference experience, talking about reference experience, that I deserve this, and I get, the first one that I get, I'm going to be like, I deserve this. And then you have to say, and then that's going to be the new norm. That's going forward into growth. So hope you guys liked it. Share, subscribe. I'll just give you my life legacy. I kind of thought about it after Grant Cardone said, I want 8 billion people to know me. Number one is, I wrote it down when I'm 70 years old. I want to open a Botensten a school of business, 70 years old. So that's in whatever amount of years. I already put it down. I also want to have the top real estate company. It's going to be more of a lifestyle company. We're going to have everything, but that's 70 years out. But the actual legacy I want to leave behind are so much content making personal development cool. Because there was a video that I watched yesterday. Michael A. Singer, highly recommend. Obviously, Untethered Soul, and the what's the other one? Untethered Soul. Whatever, look up Michael A. Singer. There's a slew of videos that will just blow your mind. And he said in one of them, he said, if every single person just holds their own, there's obviously that cliche out there. If everyone just, brooms their doorstep, the world would be a clean place. If everyone just takes care of their doorstep, it's good. That's the thing, is that people don't take care of their doorstep. In other words, they don't take care of their life. And then that's why problems are created. So I want to get to the point where 8 billion people think personal development is cool. Is that actually improving? Surrender experiment. Thank you. 8 billion people know that improving, being coachable is cool. Because Tony Robbins, he doesn't have the best rap with, the general public. And to be honest, he doesn't really show that he's vulnerable, raw, or anything like that. He doesn't put up that he blessed someone in the shower head and whatever. But anyway, subscribe to the video, leave your comments below. All the comments that you guys said get wiped out. I know I say that every single time. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow, I might switch it up. I have You're Addicted To. I was supposed to do that today, but I felt this was way more important. So have an awesome day. See you guys tomorrow. And thank you for subscribing. 2,000 or 3,000, whatever people. So have an awesome day. Talk to you soon.